Welcome back, everyone, to episode 7 of Learning Canadian English. I'm your host, Jen.
And I'm Mike. It's great to be back, Jen. And today we have a fantastic topic, very close to my heart, and I'm sure yours too. We're talking about International Language Day.
Yes, which is so relevant here in Canada, a country that's basically a beautiful mosaic of languages and cultures from all over the world.
Exactly. It's a day to celebrate linguistic diversity and multilingualism. So we thought, what better way to celebrate than to dive into our own linguistic backgrounds today?
Right. So, for our listeners who might not know, while we chat here in English every week, it's not the only language I speak. I also speak Mandarin Chinese.
And I speak Hindi. Namaste, everyone. It's such a fundamental part of who I am and how I connect with my family.
Totally. It connects you to your family, your heritage, your roots.
Absolutely. When I speak Hindi with my parents or relatives, it's like stepping into a different part of my identity. There are just some feelings and ideas that are so much easier to express in Hindi.
Oh, I get that completely. It's the same with Mandarin. There's a certain nuance, a cultural shortcut in the language that you just don't get in English sometimes.
A cultural shortcut. I love that phrase. And it's amazing how many people share these experiences in Canada. You know, Hindi is actually one of the fastest growing languages in the country. There are over 500,000 Hindi speakers here now.
Wow, that's incredible. And Mandarin is right up there too. It's consistently one of the top non-official languages spoken at home, especially in big cities like Vancouver and Toronto.
It really shows you that Canada isn't just an English and French country. It's so much more complex and richer than that.
Exactly. And with language comes culture. How do you keep the cultural side of being a Hindi speaker alive here in Canada, Mike?
That's a great question. For me, a big part of it is celebrating festivals. Diwali, the Festival of Lights, is a huge one for my family.
Of course. I see beautiful Diwali celebrations happening in my community every year. The lights are just stunning.
Yeah, and it's interesting celebrating it in Canada. It's different, you know? Back in India, the entire country is celebrating. The air is thick with excitement, fireworks, the smell of special sweets from every house.
Right. It's a national event. The whole atmosphere is different.
Exactly. Here, it's more community-focused, which is also beautiful in its own way. We go to the local temple, we have big family dinners, and we try to recreate the magic. We've had to make some modifications, of course.
Like what?
Well, finding all the authentic ingredients for sweets can be a fun scavenger hunt across different specialty grocery stores. And instead of setting off tons of firecrackers in the street, we use more sparklers and lights in the backyard to be considerate of the neighbors. It's a Canadianized Diwali, but the spirit is absolutely the same.
A Canadianized Diwali. I love that. It's the same for me with Lunar New Year, or as many call it, Chinese New Year. In China, it's a massive weeks-long holiday. Everything shuts down and it's all about family. Here, it's a celebration you fit around your work schedule, but the community aspect is incredibly strong.
Where do you usually celebrate?
We often go to community events in places like Richmond in BC or Markham in Ontario, where there are huge Asian populations. You get the lion dances, the parades, the incredible food. But the most important part is the family dinner on New Year's Eve. We still make all the traditional dishes: dumplings for wealth, fish for prosperity. That part hasn't changed at all.
That's so important. Holding on to those core traditions is what keeps the culture alive.
It is. It's how you pass the culture down to the next generation, even when you're thousands of miles away from where it originated.
So true, and it leads to this really interesting experience of being multilingual in Canada. Do you find yourself code switching a lot?
All the time. It's almost subconscious. I'll be talking to my mom, starting a sentence in English, and then without thinking, I'll switch to Mandarin to say a specific phrase that just fits better.
Yes, fits better is the perfect way to describe it. My brain just automatically pulls the word from Hindi that captures the exact emotion I'm feeling. It's like having a bigger toolbox of words.
Totally. Has it ever led to any funny situations for you?
Oh, definitely. I once accidentally told my English-speaking boss, "Acha, theek hai," which basically means okay, it's fine, in a mix of Hindi and Urdu. He just stared at me blankly for a second before I realized what I'd done.
I've done that too. Ordered a coffee and said xie xie instead of thank you. The barista was very, very confused for a moment.
See, it's part of the experience, and I think it shapes your identity. I don't feel like I'm just Canadian or just Indian. I feel like I'm both. I'm Indo-Canadian, and the languages are a huge part of bridging those two worlds.
Exactly. That hyphen makes all the difference. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about creating a unique identity that incorporates everything you are. I'm proud to be Chinese Canadian and to carry both languages and cultures with me.
That hyphenated identity is so key, and it's fascinating to see how that plays out across different generations. My grandparents, for instance, are much more comfortable speaking Hindi. They can get by in English, but their hearts and minds truly operate in Hindi. All their stories, their jokes, their deepest emotions, it's all in Hindi.
Oh, 100%. My grandparents are the same with Mandarin, and it's our job as the bridge between those generations to help them navigate a world that's primarily in English. I've spent a lot of time at doctor's appointments and banks, acting as a live translator. It's a big responsibility.
It really is, and it makes you the cultural broker for the family. But then you look at the other end of the spectrum, at our younger Canadian-born cousins. It's a completely different story for them. I have cousins who can understand Hindi perfectly, but they almost always reply in English.
Yes, we call that passive bilingualism. My little cousins are masters at it, and it creates this interesting dynamic where the adults speak mostly Mandarin and the kids reply in English, but everyone understands each other perfectly. It's a sign of the times, I think. There are a lot of efforts to keep the language alive, though, like weekend heritage language schools. I even went to one myself.
Oh, I've seen so many of those weekend schools. Did you enjoy it? I've heard mixed reviews from friends. Some found it a great way to connect. Others felt like it was just more school on a Saturday morning.
It was a bit of both, honestly. On one hand, yes, it felt like extra homework, but on the other hand, it was where I met a lot of friends who were in the exact same boat as me, navigating this dual identity. It created a sense of community. We'd complain about memorizing characters, but we'd also share stories about our grandparents that nobody else would get. In hindsight, I'm really glad my parents made me go. It gave me a connection to my heritage that I might have lost otherwise.
That's a great point about community. And beyond formal schooling, I think media plays a huge role now. For my younger cousins, Bollywood is their Hindi teacher. We have family movie nights, and they pick up so much of the slang and the modern-day conversational language from the films. It makes the language feel alive and relevant to them, not just something their grandparents speak. And that's really the beauty of it and the true spirit of International Language Day. It's about celebrating every single one of those hyphens. So, for all of our listeners out there, we encourage you to think about your own linguistic heritage. Whether you speak another language fluently or just know a few phrases, it's a part of what makes you, you.
Beautifully said, Mike. Is what makes Canada such a vibrant and interesting place to live. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Learning Canadian English.
Join us next time for another episode. Until then, take care, everyone.
Bye for now.